He's grown up before our eyes, a fresh-faced teenager becoming a seasoned veteran, identified forever as a champion, a hallmark of Yankee greatness. The pages of the calendar have turned and have been punctuated by a steady torrent of hits. With the consistency of a metronome, Jeter has made sure the hits just keep on coming. Each hit has moved him up on the Yankee list. One by one, hit by hit, the greats have fallen as he climbs the ladder, putting the game's deities in his rearview mirror. And Jeter has not looked back as he moves past Mickey Mantle and then Babe Ruth. One more baseball god to go. 4 more hits to stand atop the Yankees' Mount Olympus. It is a roll call of greatness. Mantle, Ruth, Gehrig, and you know what? Derek Jeter belongs in the same breath. That's how good he's been. And the crowd filing in the Yankee Stadium hoping that he passes Lou Gehrig. A.J. Burnett will do the honors from the mound for the Yankees as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the second game of a day-night doubleheader from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Welcome to Yankees baseball on Yes, presented by KGB. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. First game of the day-night doubleheader, the Yankees won that one 4-1. That's the important thing. But for Derek Jeter, he did not get any hits, so he remains 3 behind Lou Gehrig and 4 away from moving to the top of the Yankee list. And for Derek, just a bad first game.
It was, but I think you got to give Matt Garza a lot of credit. Did a nice job pitching to Derek Jeter. Came right at him with fastballs. First at bat, he got a first pitch fastball up. He hits a lazy fly ball to right field. But then the rest of the afternoon was tough for Derek. A fastball down and in with a little bit of movement. Ground ball to shortstop. He ends up finishing the day 0 for 4, but you can see the approach that Matt Garza had. Fastballs and especially down and in, inducing some ground balls.
So while Derek took the 0-4, his teammate Alex Rodriguez actually had a very good game. CC Sabathia was outstanding for the Yankees, 7 strong innings, and then Phil Hughes and then Mariano Rivera took it from there. And Alex Rodriguez is one of the hitting stars. He's on fire right now.
He is, and he's done a nice job of shortening up that leg kick. Because of that, he's using his hands a little bit better. He was able to take care of the fastball down and in from Garza. A rocket in the first inning to left field, driving in Mark Teixeira. Then he gets a fastball away, just slaps it to right field. The approach is middle of the field, the leg kick a little bit shorter because of that 3 hits and an intentional walk.
Well, let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup for the Rays. Andy Sonnenstein against A.J. Burnett. 6-8, 6.62 against 10-8 with a 4.29 ERA. So Derek Jeter, the countdown continues, and he wants this over for sure. CC Sabathia did what he had to do in the first game. Now it's time for A.J. Burnett. How's A.J. been pitching? John Flaherty tells us next. Well, it's become an overcast evening after a beautiful afternoon here in New York. Yankees won the first game 4-1 of this day-night doubleheader. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees Baseball. That's John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. We'll have baseball in just a moment. The starter for the Yankees is A.J. Burnett. And to be honest, he has not pitched that great. Last time out, he struggled. He has not had a win since the end of July. What's going on?
You know, it really comes down to location of the fastball with A.J. He's been getting beat with fastballs over to the middle of the plate. Not just giving up base hits, he's giving up home runs. Last start in Baltimore against Felix B.A., it's a deep drive the other way. Baltimore, good hitter's park, but still a fastball elevated out over the plate. Another fastball to Melvin Moore. Middle of the plate, he drills it down the left field line. And then Luke Scott gets a fastball middle, and he does what he's supposed to do. For A.J. Burnett, it's hitting the outside corner with that fastball. Everything else will fall into place after that.
No matter how well you pitch, you need wins. So A.J. Burnett's looking for one, which would give the Yankees a sweep. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, coming up next on Yes. Stadium crowd still filing in. They cleaned up the place in a hurry after the first game ended. Yankees won that one 4-1. And now the crowd's still filing in for game two. A.J. Burnett is taking his warm-ups. Akinori Iwamori is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is fouled back, and we are underway. Let's take a look at the Rays lineup against A.J. Burnett. We've already met Iwamori. We've got Gabe Gross in right, Longoria at third. It's Burrell, Ibar, and Zahn in the middle, and Upton, Brignac, and Perez the bottom of the order. Pitches inside. 1-1.
The Rays are going to go to work against A.J. Burnett. It'll be his 28th start. 10-8, 4.29, 158 hits in 170 innings. Take a look at our G pitcher scouting report. It's time to shine if you're A.J. Burnett and the Yankees. You want to see some improvement. You only have a little bit less than a month left. It's time to get going. Had a season-high 11 hits against him his last outing against Baltimore. And if he hits that down and away spot with his fastball to righties, he should have a good day. That's been the problem lately.
And that's fouled away. Iwamori pinch hit in the first game and struck out to end the game against Mariano Rivera. Missed 81 games on the 60-day DL, recovering from left knee surgery. It happened on May 24th at Florida. Sliding Chris Coughlin broke up a double play, tore his knee up. Right back to A.J. One away. Tonight's game is presented by KGB. Want to throw your friends a curve? Get your Yankee stats from KGB. Text your question to 542-542. Here's Gabe Gross. The Rays are 72-65. Gross hitting about 190 over his last 100 at bats. And there's the strike. Strangely, when Gross starts in right field like he is in the second game, The Rays are 38-21. They're 17 games over 500. So obviously they're better against right-handed pitching. Rays got really bad news between games. Carlos Pena in the first inning was trying to check his swing. The ball went off his left hand, and he broke the middle finger and the ring finger on that hand. He's out for the remainder of the year. He's flying back to the Tampa area as we speak. He's going to have surgery to repair those fingers. High fly ball right center, giving chase is Swisher. He can't get there. He'll get the ball off in the gap, and he fires the ball in, not nearly in time, as Gross picks up the double.
Gross hits this ball perfectly in right center. You can see Molina setting up inside. It's a fastball supposed to be in, and again it ran back to the middle of the plate. Gross puts a good swing on it, but hits it perfectly right in the middle of Melky Cabrera and Nick Swisher. Not able to make the play, trying to hustle it up to keep Gross the first, but he cannot. Again, missing a little bit with that location on the fastball. That's been the problem for AJ the month of August and early in September. Needs to get that straightened out in order to get himself on a roll.
And here's Evan Longoria. Now, you said on the post-game show after the first game that if that ball's tailing back, he might have a rough night. So tell me, John, why does the ball tail back? What's he doing wrong?
I think he leaves a little bit early with his front side and opens up a little bit. And because of that, he can't drive the ball to that down and away spot. And because of that, the ball runs back to the middle of the plate. Dave Island's been doing a lot of work with AJ on his front side, his glove side.
That was a hot shot. Harris Hester and down the left field line. Gross will score easily. Longoria will jog into second with an RBI double, and Tampa Bay's up 1-0.
When you talk to pitching coaches, they talk about the glove side, the left side for A.J. Burnett, and that drives you to your location. You see that ball's pretty much in. I mean, Longoria does a nice job of beating A.J. to the spot there, clearing out that fastball inside. Drills it down the left field line for an RBI double. Jerry Harrison Jr. playing third base in the second game, not able to come up with it. Gross comes around and scores easily.
So Molina goes out and tries to settle down A.J. Burnett. There's Pat Burrell, 4 hits in his last 23 at-bats. And the pitch inside, 1-0.
You know, Michael, I remember having a conversation with Leo Mazzoni, who used to be the pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves and then the Baltimore Orioles, and he said, you know what, if a pitcher can hit that spot down and away, about 9 out of 10 times, he's going to be successful with the fastball. And we're already seeing early on in this ball game, AJ having a tough time. Molina setting up down and away, balls running middle of the plate.
Now, if that happens and he keeps doing it, what does he go to then?
Well, that's his bread and butter, and Dave Island talked about the glove. The glove will direct you to that outside corner, and they've been working on it on the side. And Dave feels like if he can get it mechanically with that glove and the front shoulder driving to this spot down and away, everything else is going to fall into place. A lot easier said than done, but you can go to the bullpen and you can nail 9 out of 10, take it out to your start, you're going to have a good chance.
Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 69 degrees, humidity 65%, not much wind. The forecast is for cool and cloudy. The 2-1. There, he hits the corner. That's where he wants it. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And the count 2-2.
Well, you're right, Michael. That's the one. If you can hit that spot, as Alex Rodriguez observing, had a nice game in the first game, couple of hits, 3 hits. If AJ can hit that spot with his fastball, everything else is going to fall into place.
2-2. Count is full. Willie Ibar on deck. works a walk.
AJ a little frustrated he didn't get the call, but pitching coach Dave Island looking on, and I'll tell you what, he's probably pretty happy with where that ball ended up, because that means mechanically things are pretty good. You keep hitting that spot, eventually you're going to start getting some calls.
And a strike to Willie Ibar. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
Willie Ibar is going to start getting some playing time at first base, you'd have to believe, with Pena, the broken fingers, going back to Tampa, going to have some surgery, and looking forward to spring training. Now his season is over. Ibar, one of those situational players, does a nice job off the bench for Joe Madden, has some power, 10 home runs.
I've always been amazed, John. So many players get hit on the hands, and so few of them break bones. I guess it has to get you just right, and he said that his ring finger snapped like a pencil once the ball hit him.
Well, I guess, you know, something was up. Obviously, the swing and a miss that he took, he grimaced in a lot of pain and was taken out of the game, and now his season is over. It's been that kind of year for the Rays.
1-2, swing and a miss. Ibar down on strikes.
Real good power curveball down and in. Ibar swings right over the top. His hold at bat, AJ was in command. Good location with a fastball. Finishes him off with a tough curveball down and in.
Well, they're building up a high pitch count. 20 pitches so far. And here's Greg Zahn. Count 1-0.
Greg Zahn came over from Baltimore, getting a lot of playing time here in Tampa against right-handed pitching. He's a switch hitter. Navarro playing against the lefties. Zahn playing against right-handed pitchers.
Pretty nice to have two switch hitting catchers. Popped up left field. Johnny Damon will make the play, and that'll do it. But the Rays get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Derek Jeter's going to lead off. He's 4 hits away from moving into first place on the Yankees all-time hit list. We'll see how he does in the first. In the first game, he did not pick up a hit, and that is obviously what everybody is waiting for. He needs 3 to tie Lou Gehrig and 4 to pass him and sit atop the leaderboard for the Yankees all-time hit list.
Now batting for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
And the voice of Bob Shepard continues to introduce Derek Jeter as per his request. Bob has not been at the stadium this year, but as long as Derek Jeter's a Yankee, the tape of Bob's voice is going to introduce him when he comes to the plate. So let's recap his first game. Derek playing in both games. He flew out to right in the first, grounded to short in the third, struck out looking in the fifth, and grounded sharply to third in the seventh. Matt Garza was part of the reason he didn't pick up a hit.
Yeah, Matt Garza was outstanding, and he really attacked Derek Jeter with power fastballs, a little bit of movement in. Sonnenstein, a different type pitcher, doesn't throw nearly as hard, a lot of off-speed pitches.
The 1996 Rookie of the Year, the 2000 World Series and All-Star Game MVP. First game ever was May 29th, 1995 at Seattle. And there's a strike, and the flash bulbs are going off with every pitch. Didn't see it in the first game because it was daylight. And the 0-1. 1-1. Lou Gehrig has held this record for 72 years. And Jeter's about to take it away. Ground it to short. Brignac. And they get Jeter for the first out of the inning. Now, we've never seen Jeter really be adversely affected by this sort of thing with all the flash bulbs going off, nor the pressure, but it's got to be something in the back of his mind, John.
Oh, I'm sure it's something that he's thinking about. Obviously, the fans are excited about it. The light bulbs going off.
There's Johnny Damon. He did not play in the first game. Okay, a pitch outside, 1-0.
But Derek's not one of those guys who's going to press. Obviously, been in big situations, World Series hero. It's only a matter of time.
And that should alleviate some of the pressure. And it shows you why there is no pressure. It's a record that's going to be Derek Jeter's. He's going to play for a long time. That's grounded up the middle. Reed Brignac. There's two away. I think that what is a distraction for Derek is it's a distraction. He just wants it to be over with. He doesn't want to be under the microscope like that. Let's take a look at the Yankee lineup. You've already seen Jeter and Damon. Then it's Teixeira. Middle of the order, Matsui, Swisher, and Cano. And the bottom third of the order, Cabrera, Hairston, and Molina. Sonnenstein deals to Teixeira.
Check out the numbers on Sonnenstein. His 17th start. Not a very good year. 6.62 ERA and a 6-8 record. Look at our G pitcher scouting report. What happened? Last year he went from a postseason starter to the minor leagues. He needs to pound the strike zone a little bit more. That's what he did last year. He's kind of gotten away, and there's an open rotation spot for him to earn. Last year he was a strike throwing machine. This year the number's not as good, and I talked about it earlier. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. He's really got to get ahead in counts.
2-1. Grounded foul. John mentioned he was sent down to AAA Durham, and a 9 starts there, 5-3, but a high ERA of 4.4. Well, there's David Price, one of the 5 Ray starters, and a postseason hero last year working out of the bullpen. And he's going to pitch tomorrow. 2-2. Swan and missed as Sonnenstein pulled the string, and Teixeira way out in front. The Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 here in the first inning. We go to the second. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Back with the Cure have partnered in an unprecedented effort to save lives by providing free, simple prostate cancer screenings for any adult man attending the game at Yankee Stadium this Wednesday against Tampa Bay. The free test will begin at 3 p.m. at the First Aid Office located on the main level behind home plate. Men over 40 are especially at risk for prostate cancer. The test will be conducted by doctors and medical technicians from St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital Center and continue throughout the game. Men will be notified of the results within 2 weeks. We go to the second, and B.J. Upton will lead off against A.J. Burnett. And there's a strike. Upton has been out for 4 games with a left ankle sprain. Tampa Bay leads 1-0. Did not start in the first game. And he's had a different year than last year, that's for sure.
Yeah, we talked during the first game about what happened with Tampa. You know, Upton hasn't had the same type of year. Navarro behind the plate hasn't had the same type of year. They've been hurt by some injuries, but Upton's numbers are definitely down.
Well, he had left shoulder surgery and actually missed the first week of the season. They say he's healthy, but he's not having the same season as he had last year.
Steve Henderson, the hitting instructor for Tampa, and, you know, Upton had a great postseason, hit 7 home runs, and they were really expecting big things this year. It just hasn't happened. Take a look at the scouting report. I mentioned he had a great October, 7 home runs, but only hit 177 in April. He still runs. He doesn't get on base a lot, but he has 37 stolen bases, and he's fun to watch in center field, an athlete who glides after the ball.
His brother, Justin Upton of the Diamondbacks, happens to be having a very good year this year, much better than BJ. Pretty talented family to produce those 2 types of baseball players. If you missed it, White Sox beat the Red Sox 5-1 this afternoon. So that means the Yankee lead is back to 8.5 in the American League East. And the Rays lost an opportunity to gain ground on the Red Sox. They're still 7 behind Boston. Those are the standings in the AL East. I don't think the Rays really have a chance against the Yankees. Just 24 games remaining for the Yanks, including this one. They lead by 15.5 over Tampa Bay. The Red Sox, as we mentioned, 8.5. Everybody else far back in the rearview mirror. And the 3-2. And Upton worked to walk. Now, Joe Girardi actually let CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett work out between themselves who would start in the first game and who would start in the second. CC wanted to start in first, and A.J. wanted to start in second, so there was no argument, and Girardi said, that's great. And it does show you something. CC Sabathia pitched in the first game, didn't get a decision, 7 strong innings, 1 run, but here he is in the second game, sitting on the bench like the Yankee starters have been doing this year. Why did A.J. want to pitch at night? Well, in the day, he's 4-3, 5.59, and in the night, 6-5, 3.46, so 2 runs per game less.
I think that's also a respect thing for CC Sabathia, the #1 guy in the staff, and you defer to him. Whichever game he wants to start, you follow the lead. Where CC had that slider going in the first game, 10 strikeouts, devastating on the right-handed batters.
Well, his ERA went down, but he did not get his 17th win. It's going to be interesting to see how the Cy Young Award voting plays out. You've got guys like CC at 16-7. And then you've got Zach Greinke, who's having just a magical year, but he's not piling up wins with Kansas City. But he has an ERA in the 2s. The 1-0. Felix Hernandez with Seattle is also having an ERA in the 2s and has a couple more wins than Greinke.
Josh Beckett was having a great year. He's had kind of a tough stretch lately. Took a loss today against the White Sox. He's kind of fallen out of that race.
Misses.
AJ walked up then to lead off this inning, but his stuff in the second looks a whole lot better than the first. A quality curveball down that Brignac swings right over the top. See, it's a little knuckle curve grip. Standing action down and in. But even the location on his fastball has been better this inning.
One, two. Swing and miss. Brignac down on strikes.
Again, it's the power knuckle curveball, and the swings from Brignac not very good. Out in front, swings right over the top, a little wave. And a good look at the break there from that angle. .37 stolen bases for B.J. Upton at first. The Rays have 170 stolen bases. That's first in the league. It's always been a big part of their attack. Carl Crawford has 55 of those. Was thrown out in the first game. A big play by Jorge Posada and Robinson Cano. Gets a second game off. You know he'll be available later on, maybe to pinch hit, possibly pinch run.
Adrian Johnson with an emphatic strike call. Breaking ball inside, 2-1.
I don't know where that breaking ball missed. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Looks like Jose Molina's having a little talk with the home plate umpire, Adrian Johnson. We get another look. Jose setting up away. It ends up middle in, but looked like it had a lot of plate. Just because he missed the glove doesn't necessarily mean it's not a strike. Power fastball on the outside corner. Maybe just a little bit off. He gets the benefit of the doubt on the call.
Grounded softly to third. Hairston gets the hustling Perez for the second out as Upton advances to second.
Again, the location down and away, you can't do a whole lot with it. Perez just flips his bat. Jerry Hairston coming in, makes a nice throw on the run to get the speedy outfielder.
.39 pitches for AJ, and he deals to Iwamura outside. Another one of those injuries that John was talking about earlier. Iwamura, a big part of what the Rays do, and he missed half the season, 81 games. Driven out to left field. Going back Damon. Still back. Still back. And in front of the track will make the play for the final out. So the leadoff walk does not hurt AJ, who's talking to himself as he walks off the mound. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
I'm going to meet him there around 4.
You hear that, John?
I did hear that.
He hears it. I'm going to invite you for him, so you're invited.
5 o'clock. I'll meet him there.
Well, John, you did spend the between game time at NYY Steak. I was clearly not invited. Did Jorge join you?
No, he stood me up.
Good. See?
Now, you're happy about that.
I'm thrilled about it because I couldn't get an invite, so I'm glad you got stood up.
Really? Well, actually, I had a great dinner with my family. NYY Steak, the people down there were outstanding. Food was delicious, and I'm not just saying that. People will be out there saying, "Oh, he has to say that." It was outstanding.
No, you paid. You don't have to say it. If they had comped you, yeah, you'd have to say it.
That's true. But they didn't comp me, and Jorge Posada stood me up, and I'll be at his charity event Thursday night, and I'll remind him of that.
Karma really stinks sometimes. There's right.
How was your dinner?
The chicken fingers were great.
How was your company?
I like myself. And the 1-1. Rip foul. I'm amazed. People foul out here quickly, and then the crew here at Yankee Stadium, how they clean this place. They must have cleaned it in about a half hour. People really working hard and putting it all together, and the place was spotless as if there was no game in the afternoon, and somehow all these fans got in and all those fans got out. 47,000 plus in the first game. The 1-2.
Another great crowd for this game tonight, too. I mean, the makeup game, a lot of fans here. Pretty close to a sellout.
You know, one thing, for those that watched the first game of John twice, in the batting practice show me during the game, told me that I was not welcome at dinner with him. But your lovely wife, Lynn, said, Michael, of course you are. He's just a mean-spirited person. So I took that to heart, and I said, thank you, Lynn, for offering, but I'll pass.
See, she knows me well. We've been married for 12 years.
Very well.
But you know how tough it is when you make a reservation for 5 to call up last minute and say, you know what, we have to add one more. It's tough to do.
It is. Did you even give it a shot?
I tried, but, you know.
The 3-2, and Matsui works a walk. Yankees first base runner. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. This is Fios, this is big. David Price will go for the Rays, 7-7, 4.75 against Chad Godin. He goes for the Yankees at 5-10, 4.98. Our coverage will begin at 7 p.m. on My 9. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Here's Nick Swisher. Big numbers against Tampa Bay. 6 homers, 8 ribbies in 12 games. And the pitch high. How about this for splits, John? On the road, 1-7, 8.22 for Sonnenstein. At home, 5-1, 4.76. Is that explainable?
I mean, I think the biggest difference with him this year from last year is he's just not throwing enough strikes early in the count. And that's the difference whether you're home or on the road. You watch the radar gun, 86 miles an hour, a little cut fastball. 5-1 at home with a 4.76.
And the 1-2. Now, while you were dining between games, John, I was fielding a lot of emails from people, a lot of fans, and a lot of people actually wrote and said, what's the deal with Joe Madden's hair? It was white during the playoffs, and it's not now. Obviously, he's dyed it. Now, I didn't know if it was vanity, but we find out that he has themes on road trips, and one of the themes was that they were going to dye their hair, kind of an Elvis thing, and he dyed his hair. I don't know if that's a ruse for him to dye his hair, but that's the difference in color, though. It was all white last year, or silver. The 2-2.
I guess some of those things worked last year. I mean, they went to the World Series. I'm sure he did some of the same antics on road trips. This year trying to do it, it's not paying off. You would look good with the jet black look.
Really?
Yeah.
You can continue to imagine that.
Maybe for a little postseason run, you go a little jet black. No?
I don't think so. The 3-2. That one is drilled to right field. Gross is there. And there's one away. I mean, I wish that motivation he parlayed into a contract with Grecian Formula or something on hair just for him.
Tom Foley, the third base coach.
There's Robinson Cano. No trouble there. Grounded to third. Longoria to Iwamura. On to first. Hits and around the horn. 5-4-3. Double play. In the second for the Yankees. No runs, no hits, no errors. And because of the DP, nobody left on base. We go to the third. 1-0 Tampa Bay. You're watching Labor Day Baseball on Yes, presented by KGB. Well, everybody here at the Yes Network hopes that you had a great Labor Day weekend, finishing up now. Maybe you just got home from a weekend away. Hope you're enjoying yourself today. And Gabe Gross takes a pitch low, check swing, and Tim Welke said he did not go. So the count is 1-0. On the Modell's scoreboard, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. And the pitch. That one off a shin guard. Don't know which shin guard. Count 2-0.
It looked like it got Adrian Johnson, the home plate umpire, in his shin guard. A.J. Burnett missed by a whole plate there. The tough umpire behind the plate didn't even flinch. Got to love that.
One. AJ's building up quite a pitch count. That was his 45th pitch. 24 strikes, 21 balls, so not a great strike to ball ratio. Popped up. Third base side, long run for Hairston. Can't get there. Like he banged his knee. Comes up limping.
Now that's what you worry about when you get over by that tarp that covers the field during a rain delay. Looked like Jerry might have banged his knee off of that tarp. Gene Monahan, the trainer, coming out with Joe Girardi. Runs a long way for this ball. Tries to figure out where he's at. Leaps to make a play. We'll check out a left leg or the right leg. Looks like it's the right.
I don't know.
Yeah, didn't really bang it that hard. Maybe he twisted a knee over there.
Ramiro Pena getting ready just in case, but Harrison's going to stay in the game. And the 3-2. High fly ball center field. Cabrera drifts back. Well, there's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. Situated in center field at the new Yankee Stadium, the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Mohegan Sun, a world of play. Here's Longoria. He had a home run in the first game in the second inning against CC Sabathia. Went the other way with an outside pitch and drove it into the first row of seats in the short porch and right. Count 0-2.
Well, the home run was in game one against CC Sabathia. Again, you check out the pitch. It was pretty much middle of the plate. Drives it out to right field. He had a double off of AJ, his first at bat on a fastball inside, so he's covered both halves.
That one is laced into right center field. It's going to be a base hit. Cut off in the gap by Nick Swisher and fires it quickly, and he holds Longoria to a single.
That's why he's already a star in this league, and he's going to get better. He covers the whole plate. Fastball out over. Line drive to right center. AJ tried to bust him in his first at bat, and he cleared that out. Now he tries to go away. 2 for 2 with a double and RBI, and now a base hit. Check out the plate coverage for Evan Longoria. Ball out over, not quite on the corner, but not too bad. Nice job of hitting.
Count 0-1 on Burrow. Burrow walked in the first inning. A rare foray into the free agent pool for the Tampa Bay Rays during the offseason, signing Pat Burrow to a 2-year, $18 million deal. And Burrell has not lived up to what they thought. They want a right-handed power, and you see what he's done. 13 home runs, a 235 average. And they took him from the Philadelphia Phillies, and it was the Phillies that beat the Rays in the World Series last year. And then the Phillies traded up. They didn't sign Burrell, and they signed Raul Ibanez, who's put together much bigger numbers from the other side than Pat Burrell. And Burrell goes down and strikes, and that's a pitch down he's so susceptible to.
Pat Burrell, his whole career, has been one of those guys you can pitch to. If you make quality pitches, you're going to get them. It's a good curveball down and away in the dirt, a weak hack. But if you make a mistake, in the past he's been able to drive it. 30 home run power, not translating this year in Tampa Bay.
Here's Willie Ibar. And there's a strike. Time is called, and Molina must talk things over with Burnett. A lot has been made of the pairing of catchers with A.J. Burnett. And Molina gets the start behind the plate with A.J. tonight. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. When you were catching every day with Tampa Bay, John, were there certain pitchers that didn't want to pitch to you?
Well, there were a few, of course.
And as a catcher, does that insult you? Do you feel hurt by it?
Well, yes, you take it personally. I mean, it's one of those things that I took a lot of pride in what I did behind the plate, calling a game, working with a staff. So, of course, you know, your pride takes a little bit of a shot, but I think you got to realize that there are certain personalities that work well together. Other personalities aren't the best. But what you want at the end of the day is somebody that appreciates the pitcher-catcher relationship. And let's face it, A.J. Burnett has the kind of stuff. It shouldn't matter who's behind the plate.
And the 0-2. Swung and missed. He strikes out Ibar. So Burnett works a scoreless third. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay on yes. Hey, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question is, which future Jeter moment would you most like to witness? And the choices are: number one, the 300th or 3,000th hit. Number two is last game. Number 3, his number retired. Number 4 is Hall of Fame induction. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Who wants to see his last game? You want to put that off.
Hall of Fame induction. A long way away. 3,000 hit would be pretty cool.
That's probably in 2011. Modell's scoreboard 1-0 Tampa Bay. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Pitch outside to Melky Cabrera.
Melky playing both games of the doubleheader. Left field the first game, center field the nightcap. 1 for 3 with a walk. First game.
The 2-1. A strike. And the 2-2 pitch. I think he got Melky on the helmet.
Watching Sonnenstein pitch, I mean, there's a lot of cut fastballs. You see Melky swing right on the top of it. Hits the brim of his helmet.
Two. Laced into left center field. It's a base hit. BJ Upton trips, but Cabrera holds to a single.
It's another cut fastball from Sonnenstein. He tries to go back door. Melky Cabrera just stays on it. Drives this to left center field. Nice simple approach inside out. Aggressive base running, a big turn when he saw Upton slip a little bit. Melky was thinking about taking second base. Coming out of the box hard, thinking too, but he holds up.
Here's Jerry Hairston Jr., his first at bat. And for the second time tonight, Sonnenstein works from the stretch, and he deals a strike.
I think Sonnenstein would be a good guy to hit and run off of. He usually throws a lot of strikes, doesn't have overpowering stuff. Jerry Hairston Jr., a guy who usually puts the ball in play. Behind the count 0-1, you wouldn't look for the hit and run here, but if he does get ahead, it might be an opportunity.
They started the runners at the hit and run, and Hairston fouled it away.
Yeah, you just like all the combinations there. Sonnenstein not an overpowering guy. Hairston a simple approach, put the ball in play. You got a pitch to hit, just fouled it off. Great block by Greg Zahn. We saw in the first game Melky Cabrera do a nice job on a ball in the dirt. When Navarro blocked it, he got to second base, got himself in scoring position. Watch how quick Zahn deadens this ball in front of home plate, right behind it, right on top of it. And Make sure he gets to his feet in good throwing position, holds Melky Cabrera to first base. Nice play.
Driven the other way. Alex Rodriguez 3 hits in the first game, and the Jackets are out, so that's a sign that we're close to the end. And Hairston gets dusted.
Crowd here at Yankee Stadium doesn't like it. He sees on set up inside. It just gets away from Sonnenstein, up and in a little bit too high, close to the chin. Mind you, Josh Towers yesterday with Ruiz for Toronto took one off the face. Jerry Hairston able to get out of the way.
Runner goes, and Hairston wants to walk. So for the first time tonight, the Yankees have 2 runners on base.
Rays have to be expecting a sacrifice bunt here. Jose Molina.
Molina has 1 sacrifice bunt this year. He had 8 last year. And a strike.
That was a sacrifice bunt. Jose Molina a little late squaring around. You really want to give yourself up. Everybody in the ballpark is looking and expecting the bunt, but he was a little late there squaring around.
Gloria backing up, not thinking that there is going to be a bunt now. But Ibar is in on the grass at third. And there wasn't a bunt as Molina swings and misses.
Joe Girardi taking a little bit of a gamble. You show bunt the first time, and then you turn your hitter loose, hoping he can run into a fastball. Jose Molina got the pitch, just swung through it.
The 0-2. 1 and 2 on deck for the Yankees is Derek Jeter, so Molina is the number 9 batter in the lineup. Derek so far today is 0 for 5, 0 for 4 in the first game, grounded out to short here in the first inning. And the 1-2.
Jose Molina at his best offensively when he gets behind in the count like he is here. He just tries to shoot a ball to right field. He takes that 2-strike approach going the other way. He gets ahead in the count. He tries to get a little big, hitting a home run. Almost a better hitter when he gets behind because he doesn't try to do too much. It's middle of the field. Take your base hit the other way.
And he's worked the count full. Grounded up the middle. Does it get through? Yes, it does. Off the glove of Brignac and backed up by Iwamura. So the bases are loaded for Jeter.
Jeter does a nice job just staying up the middle. Don't try to do too much. Berniak kept it in the infield. Now Derek Jeter a chance to do some damage.
Mom and Dad, they were here for the first game. They're here for this game. And Jeter is 3 away from tying Lou Gehrig at 27-21. Jeter's at 27-18. 4 to the top of the list. So Joe Madden goes out and talks with Sonnenstein. In his lifetime, Jeter's had just 1 grand slam, and that was against the Cubs. Obviously an interleague play across the street at the old Yankee Stadium. And that was one of the 2,718 hits and the only grand slam. A big press gathering here at Yankee Stadium, poised to record history. Dr. Charles and Dorothy, Derek Jeter's parents. Count on 1.
Big swing from Derek Jeter. Looked like he wasn't thinking about a base hit to right field. He was thinking about scoring 4 runs on 1 swing, just underneath it a little bit. Got a little big.
Derek's first hit May 30th, 1995 in Seattle off Tim Belcher. Now 1-1. He was a call-up and an injury call-up that year. And then he became the Yankees starting shortstop on opening day in '96 at a home run off Dennis Martinez. Made a great over-the-shoulder catch. He has not looked back since. And now he's looking ahead to Lou Gehrig, just 3 ahead to tie. The 1-1. 2-1. Andy Pettit, except for those 3 years in Houston, has seen most of Derek Jeter's hits. Came up with him through the system. So did Jorge Posada and Mariano Rivera. Ground ball up the middle. Grabbed by Iwamura. There's one on to first. Not in time. A run scores. The game is tied at 1, and Jeter foiled for his first hit of the day.
Derek Jeter hits this ball well. It's another cut fastball away. Smokes it right up the middle. Iwamura, outstanding play to get there. Derek Jeter beats it out. He's going to get an RBI. Iwamura makes a great play, taking away a base hit. Would have been a couple of RBIs for Derek Jeter. Hustling down the line, beats it out.
Mom and Dad living and dying with each hit. Joe Madden goes out and argues with Gary Cederstrom. He's made a couple of trips to the field in these 2 games to no avail. So the game is tied at 1. Johnny Damon with a wave.
One of those swings right there. You're happy you didn't make contact if you're Johnny Damon. Clearly fooled, and I think he was fooled on a little bit of a movement from Sonnenstein. You swing through it. You're happy you didn't put the ball in play. Now you give yourself another chance. Let's see that swing from Johnny Damon too often.
That one is locked into center field, and it's going to dunk in front of Upton for a base hit. Scoring is Hairston. Moving to second, Jeter. It's an RBI single for Damon, and the Yankees take a 2-1 lead.
Nice job of situational hitting for Johnny Damon, a runner at third. Trying to get the run in, you stay middle of the field, fight the ball off to the middle. Worst case scenario, you get a sacrifice fly. Best case, you drop it in front of Upton. An RBI base hit.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Now Teixeira's second with 33 home runs behind Carlos Pena, who has 39. Pena's out for the year, so now the question is can Teixeira get 7 more home runs in 24 games. Yankees have 24 games remaining, including this one. Driven deep to center, up and back, still back, looking up, see ya! A 3-run home run into Monument Park. And the Yankees jump ahead 5-1 on Mark Teixeira's 34th home run of the year. And the ball's right there for Lou Gehrig to look at.
Teixeira gets a fastball middle of the plate. He drills this ball to center field. There was no doubt about it. When you watch Upton, he just turned his back, gave a little courtesy jog. He knew this ball had plenty of distance. A big 3-run home run, his 34th home run of the year.
So it all falls apart for Sonnenstein in this inning.
Sometimes you could tell by the sound of the bat, Upton just turns around, a little courtesy jog. He knew he didn't have a play.
Matsui with a shattered bat. And it's a foul ball. So Mark Teixeira's been struggling of late. In the first game, he was 1 for 3. And now he is 5 behind Carlos Pena, who will be stalled at 39. He is out for the year with the 2 broken fingers. He suffered that in the first game. But Teixeira 5 for his last 26. Check that, 5 for his last 27 before that home run. And in case you missed it, this is how Carlos Pena got hurt in the first inning of the first game. The middle finger and the forefinger are the cracked fingers. And then the next swing he tried to check, dropped the bat, and he knew that his season was over. A 1-2. Fouled away. The Rays have lost 5 in a row. 1-2 pitch. Laced into center field, a base hit for Matsui.
You watch Sonnenstein's stuff. I mean, it's just not overpowering. We talked about it earlier. This is a rolling curveball up middle of the plate. Hideki Matsui just slaps it to center field. This is a hanger. This could have been a lot worse if you're the Rays. The ball could have went a long way. Hideki Matsui just stays on it and drives it right back up the middle. The Yankees offensively all over Andy Sonnenstein here in the third.
They are not holding Matsui on at first. Ibar playing behind him. Here's Nick Swisher. Foul. Deep to right. 24 home runs, but just 3 of them here in the Bronx. Talked about in the first game, just doesn't make any sense. Mark Teixeira is enjoying his time here in the Bronx. 34 home runs now for the season, and 105 runs batted in. And sitting together in that Yankee dugout, 2 MVP candidates, along with Joe Mauer of the Twins. And the count goes to 3-1. Jim Hickey doing some pacing.
He's got to get that bullpen going, and we talked about it on the first game. The bullpen has been overworked the second half of the year for the Rays. It's definitely not a strength at this point. Sonnenstein has been struggling lately, not giving the Rays any length. It looks like it's going to be the same story tonight.
Swisher, another full count.
Nick Swisher on a 3-1 count tried to stretch out a little bit, tried to go deep. It didn't work out. Now he's got to get back to that game plan, see the ball hit it. And a 3-1 count, thought he was going to get a cookie. He didn't. Swung right over the top.
Three-two, and Swisher walks. Still just one out, first and second. Chad Bradford, who pitched in the first game and not too effectively, warming in the bullpen right now.
Greg Zahn going out there, veteran catcher, trying to settle down his right-hander. At this point in the inning, you're just looking for a ground ball, take your chances, a possible double play. Sonnenstein last year had a magical year, but he would throw a lot of strikes, get ahead in the count. This year, a little different story, pitching away from contact a little bit more, and it's cost him.
Count 1-0 on Cano. Cano wrapped into a double play in the second inning. And Sonnenstein about to throw his 40th pitch of the inning. 64 total, so he lost it in a hurry. Popped up. Longoria makes the play for the second out. And with Cano's at bat, the Yankees bat around.
Sonnenstein needed that, a little pop-up from Robinson Cano. Longoria gets to the fence, puts his right hand on it, makes an easy play. Sonnenstein trying to grab a rotation spot. Kazmir being traded to the Angels. Rays giving him another opportunity in this rotation, but not taking advantage of it tonight.
Here's Melky Cabrera, who started this with a single to center field. Checks the swing. Did he go? No, said Tim Melky. And the count 2-0.
Michael, I'm watching Greg Zahn behind the plate. I mean, this is a tough game to work. You're setting up inside, the pitch ends up away, trying to figure out a way to get your young right-hander through an inning. Not easy for a veteran catcher to do.
And the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. 5 already in for the Yankees. We're in the bottom of the third. And the pitch. Still 2-2.
It's the same situation Melky found himself earlier in the inning when he started off with a base hit, got ahead in the count, got a little bit big. And then when he got 2 strikes on him, he shortened it up, hit a nice base hit the other way, and got this rally going.
You know, they talk about innings limits and things like this. This is going to be a 45 pitch inning. This inning is more wear and tear than going, 120 pitches if we didn't have to do 40 in one inning.
You're right. He can't survive 39 strikes to 32 balls. He's not that type of pitcher.
That one is drilled deep to right field, giving chase Gross, and it's going to be off the wall. Matsui scores. Swisher moves to third. Cabrera will stay at first with an RBI single, and it's 6-1 Yankees.
It's another cutter. It's in on the hands of Melky Cabrera, and he does a nice job of getting to it. The only question whether it had enough to get out of here. See him sit on his back leg a little bit. Almost got jammed, it looked like, and still drove it off the wall. An RBI single. 2 hits in the inning for Melky Cabrera.
47 pitch inning for Andy Sonnenstein. That'll be all that he's going to throw. So Sonnenstein departs. His struggles on the road continue, and Madden goes to the bullpen with the Yankees leading 6-1 here in the third. Miss an inning with live Yes Network games on your PCs and laptops. If you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet who watches Yes, log on to YesNetwork.com, Yankees.com, or Verizon.net/Yes to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Paul Simon at the game. He's had a lot of these games. Call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. Sonnenstein's night is over. 2 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. The runners on base his responsibility. 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 72 pitches. And John, he just didn't have a pitch to get people out with.
No, he didn't really have enough stuff tonight. His stuff was a little bit short. He's got a nice little cut fastball, but I talked about it. He can't walk 3 people in the American League, especially the American League East, because he doesn't have enough stuff to get away with it. Bradford hits in the first game, finds himself here in the 3rd inning in the 2nd game. It's been a constant theme for the Rays. Their bullpen is running on fumes right now.
Slow breaking ball for strike.
The bullpen has been overworked, and obviously this game is not going to help that situation.
Garza gave them some length in the 1st inning with 7 innings, but the bullpen fell apart in the 8th. The 0-1. There's a line drive. Base hit to left field off the bat of Hairston. Scoring is Swisher. Cabrera to second. An RBI single for Hairston. And it's 7-1 Yankees.
Jerry got a good look at the sweeping slider, his first pitch, and he gets another one, but it doesn't break quite as much. Kind of just sat in the middle of the plate. Has the spin on it, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Jerry just slaps it in the left field for an RBI base hit.
Molina takes pitch inside. Molina with a single off the glove of Brignac earlier in the inning. to right field. Cabrera rounds third. He's coming home. And the throw is not in time. Hairston moves to third. Molina 2 for 2 in the inning. And the Yankees are pouring it on. They lead 8-1.
Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, on the phone again. Nice piece of hitting by Jose Molina, just going the other way. Another RBI base hit, all with 2 outs.
And now here's Derek Jeter, robbed of a base hit earlier in the inning with a nice play up the middle by Abdinori Iwamura. Derek is 0 for 6 so far today. 0 for 4 in the first game. 0 for 2 tonight. And you can hear the chants of Derek Jeter here at the stadium. And a strike. Each pitch accompanied by lights going off. Trying to catch this moment. The 0-1. Foul back, 0-2. Let's go all the way back to his first hit. That was May 30th of 1995, and a younger looking Derek Jeter standing next to his future teammate, Tino Martinez. And those are the milestone hits. 2000, number 1000. 2006, number 2000. Last year, 2,500. September 9th of last year, he passes Babe Ruth for second all time. Down this line to left field. Perez is there. And in an inning where the Yankees get 8 hits, Derek Jeter goes 0 for 2. So on a day when he wants those hits, he wants hits every day. Not to be so far today, he's 0 for 7. But in the third, 8 runs on 8 hits, and the Yankees strand 2. It's 8-1 Bombers. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. This is actually one that John Flaherty might get. John's final hit in 2002 with Tampa Bay came off of which Yankees reliever? You know that, John?
No idea.
You really don't know?
No. I remember the game, though, because I actually broke my left middle finger. Bernie Williams faked a bunt, and he pulled it back right in my line of sight and broke my middle finger on my left hand. Season over.
So the hit came before that?
Obviously.
So it was like in the middle of the game?
In the 8th inning, I caught the rest of the game and got x-rays after. It was broken. Season over.
Ground ball and through for a base hit. You caught the rest of the game with a broken finger. Wow. If there was a sequel to Profiles in Courage, that would have been in it. Look at a young John Flaherty, an original Devil Ray. Oh, and that's gone. That is a see ya. There's
It's
no
not
doubt.
gone. That's
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's a stand-up double. Wow, a long time ago.
Is this one gone?
That was opening day against Baltimore. Remember that? That was my best year right there, 99. Wade Boggs, teammate of Wade Boggs.
I think this is your best year, Joe.
How would you know? We haven't worked together.
I tape everything you do.
Where do you find the time? It's incredible. Baking cakes, birthday cakes for everybody. Susan Waldman, Kim Jones.
Yep.
Radio show. Watch all the tape games on Yes from the West Coast. Dedication.
Can sleep later. Popped up to Shera. Runs out of room. Now, I want to remind everybody, tomorrow's game is on my 9, starting at 7 o'clock. But because Derek Jeter is in pursuit of this all-time Yankee record, we're going to have a pregame show at 6:30 on Yes. And then once the game's over on my 9, we'll have a postgame show on Yes as well. So try to remember that. Join us at 6:30. Join us right after the game on Yes, and we'll be here doing the game on my 9. There was a strike to B.J. Upton, 1-2.
A.J. Burnett now has a huge lead, 7 runs here in the 4th inning, but he still needs to get himself straightened out. Looked a little better in the 2nd and 3rd. Dave Island and Joe Girardi, you want to see some improvement. You want to see the location improve. Pitch count 62.
A.J. needs a win. He hasn't had a win since the end of July. Lofted to right field. Swisher. 1 out. Now, do you pitch differently, John, with the 8-1 lead?
No, you try not to. You try to stick to the game plan. And, you know, from watching A.J. early in this game, you see he's really trying to hit that spot down and away with his fastball. And you know what? You got a nice relaxed ball game going. You got a 7-run lead, a good time to work on some things and kind of get that rhythm that he had earlier in the year, in the middle of the year, when he was really on a nice roll.
Foul back. Count 0-2. Permiak's 23 years old and was named the International League's best defensive shortstop. He can pick it at short. But they're doing all right with a shortstop. Jason Bartlett is their everyday shortstop. Made the All-Star team this year. And the 0-2 pitch. Permiak swings and misses. Strikes out against Burnett for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. He's had a tough time with the curveball.
I'll celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium this Wednesday, September 9th, when the Yankees take on these very same Rays. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive an inaugural season Snoopy Yankees doll, courtesy of MetLife. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Fernando Perez takes a strike. Count 1-1. Fernando is from Columbia University, an Ivy League player in the big leagues. 2.
AJ's got that curveball going, getting a lot of swings and misses from the left-handed hitters. And they're not quality swings. They're fooled on the break. They're fooled on the speed.
No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's been all Yankees. They lead this one 8-1. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Pit Line quiz. And the question was, John Flaherty's final hit in 2002 with Tampa Bay came off of which Yankees reliever? Want to guess, John?
I really have no idea.
Let's see. Steve Carsey. So that was your last game ever with Tampa Bay. You didn't even realize it.
I didn't realize it at that point. I was looking forward to it being my last game with Tampa Bay, that's for sure.
Why?
It's time to go. 5 years. Coming up on free agency, it was time to move on.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 8-1 Yankees. And a new pitcher for Tampa Bay. It's Jeff Bennett. And he will face Johnny Damon. Bennett, who started the season with the Braves, 2-4, 3.18, 33 games. He's made 7 appearances with Tampa. Their bullpen really has been problematic. I mean, when you don't have a closer, the old saying goes, John, if you have a closer by committee, you don't have a closer. And the Red Sox tried it a couple of years ago because a lot of the sabermetricians say you don't need that one guy to close. You know, some of your important outs are going to come in the 7th or 8th inning. You should never lock one guy in to close. But they proved that that wasn't the case. That there's a difference, John, in a person that can close. There's a different stomach element to it. You have to just be of a different mindset to be able to get those final 3 outs.
Yeah, there's a different mentality to it. There are only a few that can close games in the 9th inning, pressure-packed situations. And you know what happens is you got guys with good arms who slot down a little bit lower. They do a better job in the 6th and 7th inning. It's not as much pressure. The Rays bullpen devastated by injuries and overuse. Not pretty here in September.
And the pitch to Sherrod is a strike. His home run ball still rests in front of the monuments in Monument Park. And Lou Gehrig getting a good look at it. He hit that home run in the 3rd inning, a 3-run shot. His 34th home run of the year.
John setting up away. He leans back to the middle of the plate. Mark Teixeira drills this ball to center field. 34th home run of the year.
They shift drastically for him. That's the third baseman right there. Ripped into right center field. It's a base hit. Cutting over his Gross is going to play it off the wall. And Teixeira will get himself a double. So he's 2 for 3.
Michael, you mentioned that Mark has been struggling a little bit lately. He gets another breaking ball, look like a little rolling curveball middle of the plate, and drills it to right center field. Also had a hit in the first game on the rolling curveball, so he's right on time with that. Easily in the second base, stand-up double.
Here's Matsui. He walked in the second and singled and scored in the Yankees' 8-run third. If the Yankees hold on and win this game, there'll be 9 games in front of the Red Sox. Red Sox lost earlier in the day to the White Sox, coupled with the Yankee win 4-1 in the day portion of the day-night doubleheader. The lead went from 7.5 to 8.5. It could move to 9. Count 2-0. Fly ball left field. Fernando Perez for the second out. And that's going to bring up Nick Swisher. There's a lot of races for the Yankees, and obviously the Red Sox is the one they're keeping an eye on, but right now the more realistic race is what's going on with the Angels. The Yankees want to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and the Angels coming into the action today were 4 games back in the loss column, but they lost their game to the Royals. Yankees won, so right now it's 5 in the loss column, and that's big. Let's say both teams meet in the ALCS. The Yankees would much rather have games 1 and 2 here at the stadium and have to make 1 trip out to the West Coast rather than 2. And if the season were to end right now, the Yankees would be facing the Tigers and the Red Sox would be facing the Angels, which would make you wonder if the Yankees would ever see the Angels, because the Angels, no matter how good they are and no matter how much trouble they give the Yankees, they can't beat the Red Sox in a postseason series.
Be interesting to see how it all plays out. The Yankees have done a nice job answering the Red Sox, obviously starting off slow this year against Boston. They played them much better lately, but they're going to have to do some things against the Angels. Play them next week, a game here at the stadium, then fly out to LA later on in the month. You'd like to have a good series out there, or for your mental makeup, knowing that you're going to be able to beat that club.
Posada just chilling, played the first game. And there's a strike to Swisher. And the count 3-1. Now this is usually the pitch where Nick Swisher tries to hit one out. He figures he works the count to 3-1. And he takes himself out of his zone and out of his plan and figures he gives himself 1 swing. And then he goes back. Let's see if he does the same thing right here. No, instead he walks. So Swisher walks for the second time tonight. First and second, 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Cano.
deflating game so far for Tampa. I mean, you lose the first game, they have a close game going into the 8th inning, you lose it, now you come out here and your starter has a rough 3rd inning, you're down 8-1. Trying to keep your wild card hopes alive. You look out on that team defensively, you got a lot of players on their heels. Be a long second half of the ball game for Tampa.
And Jim Hickey wants to talk with Jeff Bennett. What's he saying?
It looks like he's trying to give him a little mechanical, key to his delivery to get him back on track throwing strikes. The bottom line in a game like this, you want guys coming out of the bullpen throwing the ball over the plate, trying to eat up some innings, save some of those later bullpen guys.
The 2-0. 3-0. And the pitch. And Cano walks, and the Yankees have loaded the bases. Tonight after the postgame, This Week in Football is back with another season of analysis and commentary from the YES Network pros. For a first look at the Jets and the Giants and a complete preview of the 2009 campaign, don't miss This Week in Football presented by Geico tonight after the postgame, only on YES. This weekend the NFL starts, John. Do you feel good about your Jets?
I do. I feel great about my quarterback, Mark Sanchez. Looks good. Doesn't everybody feel good about their team before the season starts?
I'm not sure the Browns do. I don't think the Chiefs do. But you got a new coach. He's outgoing, a new quarterback. Good times.
What's your
Dan
team?
Green. My team's the Giants.
Feel good?
Feel very good about them. He's a Jet fan. Usually Jet fans aren't Yankee fans. Usually Giant fans are Yankee fans. The 1-1. Nice pick there by Willie Ibar, and he steps on the bag to retire Cabrera. So the Yankees threaten but don't score. No runs, a hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. A Gate 6 look at Yankee Stadium. Well, thank you, Nancy. Doesn't it tell you something Doesn't it tell you something that on the Lexus scoreboard is 8-1 Yankees, that Bob Lorenz handed off the day-night doubleheader to Nancy? That does tell you something. A strike to Iwamura. And there's a strike. Iwamura, Gross, and Longoria against A.J. Burnett. Grounded to first. Teixeira will flip to A.J. Burnett. One away.
Friday night on Yes, former Giant and NFL MVP Lawrence Taylor sits down with our own Michael Kay for an honest and revealing center stage. LT dishes on his storied football days, his troubled personal life, and how he's living clean today. It's the premiere of Center Stage, featuring Lawrence Taylor, Friday night at 11 o'clock, only on Yes.
I'm telling you, that's a great show, John. He's so open, and I got to tell you a quick story that he tells on the show about Bill Parcells. He said Bill Parcells was on a diet, and there was a fast food joint that was offering a free Yankee cap for every big meal that you bought. One day he broke it, and Bill Parcells was just eating tuna every day. That's how he got the name the Tuna. So, and Lawrence Taylor was a rookie. He said, well, why is he always eating tuna? And he goes, well, he's trying to lose weight. The 0-1, the gross, foul back. And he said, so I broke into his room one day. He said there were 15 Yankee caps there. He said either he's the biggest Yankee fan in the world or he wasn't just eating tuna.
Now, being a Giant fan, LT had to be one of your heroes.
I mean, I was a football fan, but not to the extent that I was a baseball fan. That one's driven out to left center field. Long run from Melky Cabrera, but he makes it. 2 outs.
It looks like A.J. settling into a nice little rhythm after the first inning. Gave up a couple of hits and a run. Things have fallen into the place in the middle of this ball game for A.J.
76 pitches for A.J. Burnett. 52 strikes. And I got to tell you this, John. I just got a text message from one of your players. Kerry Rhodes says, tell John Flaherty we need more Jet fans. That's very good.
All right.
Kerry Rhodes going to have a big year in Rex Ryan's defense.
Looking forward to it. Gonna be up there in the upper deck with my boys up top. Season tickets.
If you can get Kerry tickets to a Yankee game, he might move you down.
Whatever he wants. Anytime you want to come, put him on Michael Kay's account. You have better seats than I do anyway.
I think they're in the same row, John. The same row. Count 2-0 to Longoria. Longoria, one of the few Rays having a good day, at a home run in the first game against Sabathia. He's 2 for 2 against Burnett tonight. There's a strike. Nice pitch in the outside corner.
You really are big time, aren't you?
Why?
You have NFL players texting you during games. You are big time.
The Jets are on our radio station.
Your radio station.
ESPN 1050. I have a show there Monday through Friday, 2 to 7. There's a strike. You've been on the show a couple times.
Couple.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees lead 8-1. Top of the 5th. Swing and a miss. Burnett is really dealing an 11-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Burnett. So the Rays go down in order. We played 4.5. We are halfway through in the Bronx. 8-1 Yankees. Well, mark that a K, that last strikeout of Evan Longoria on your scorecard. And for a more delicious kind of K, try Green Mountain K-Cups from WB Mason. A perfect cup every time, a fresh cup when you want it. That's impressive pitching against a really good hitter.
Like I said, AJ finding his rhythm in the middle of this ball game. He's got to make Dave Island, the pitching coach, happy. Joe Girardi.
Like this scoreboard shows, the Yankees up 8-1. You got to go all the way back to July 27th, also against Tampa Bay, as Hairston picks up a base hit. Fernando Perez cuts it off. Hairston's going for 2. And he's going to make it.
Jerry Hairston came over here. He's been getting base hits, playing all over the field. Did a nice acquisition. Eric Hinsky, the same thing. Every time he plays, he does some positive things. Jerry, aggressive base running, forcing the issue. You see Perez's throw, a lawn dart down in the dirt. Coming out of the box, he was thinking 2 all the way. It's a good turn coming around first, puts his head down, kicks it into another gear. It's in there easy.
Anyway, Burnett's last win was against Tampa Bay here at the stadium, an 11-4 victory on July 27th. And John, you've been around pitchers, and they can say all they want. Well, I'm pitching well, I'm making my pitches, but you need victories. You have to have wins to reinforce what you're doing.
Andy Pettitte says it best. I don't care how I'm throwing. I want to win the ball game. That's what it's all about. You're the bottom line, the pitcher. It goes on your record. Let's be honest, Michael. I mean, the Yankees are looking forward to a postseason run. They need A.J. Burnett to be that dominant guy. He's probably going to be pitching the 2nd or 3rd game. You need him to get on track here at the end of September. Looking forward to the playoffs.
Well, Jose Molina walks. That's going to bring up Derek Jeter again. Derek's done tonight. This was his closest to getting a hit. Nice play by Iwamura, much to the chagrin of his parents. And then in that same inning, he lined sharply to Perez. So the kid from Columbia University, Fernando Perez, keeps Derek Jeter from catching the kid from Columbia University, Lou Gehrig. And the pitch to Jeter is a strike. And the 0-1 inside. 1-1. Now we always say the Yankees picked Derek Jeter with the 6th pick in the first round in 1992 in the June draft. A lot of people say, well, what players are picked ahead of him? And that's a pretty good trivia question. There's a ground ball to second. There's one on the frozen. Derek bangs into a double play, 4-6-3. So a rough day continues for the Yankee captain. Now this is Jeter's 32nd doubleheader where he's played both games in his career, and he's never gone hitless in a doubleheader. Anyway, the 5 players chosen before Derek Jeter in '92. The Astros took Phil Nevin. The Indians took Paul Shuey. The Expos took Billy Wallace. The Orioles took Jeffrey Hammonds. Now everybody thought the Reds were going to take Derek Jeter at number 5. They took Chad Mottola, and then he was there for the Yankees to take, and the Yankees took him with the 6th pick. Can you imagine how history changes if the Reds decide to take him?
Well, the Reds already had Barry Larkin, right, playing shortstop, so I guess they figured they didn't need another young one. The Yankees happy that he fell in their lap.
And that was the guy the Yankees wanted. They were just hoping that he would fall to 6th. Other notables in that draft, the 14th pick, the Mariners took Ron Ballone. The 23rd pick, the Pirates took Jason Kendall. And Derek taking with the 6th pick in '92. The 0-2. Ground ball is short. Bringat will get Damon, and that'll do it. No runs ahead, no errors, and one man left on base. 0 for 8, Derek Jeter in this doubleheader to this point. But A.J. Burnett's doing what he needs to do. He's up 8-1 as we go to the 6th. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. We go to the 6th. A.J. Burnett has been dealing. Pat Burrell will lead off. Burrell's 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch upstairs. 8-10-0 leading 1-4-0. How about the Yankee Media Relations Department stepping up, John?
What they do?
They brought pastries to Kim Jones for her birthday. Cupcakes and chocolate-covered strawberries.
So nice of them to do that. I
Very
mean,
nice.
I thought you were the greatest guy ever baking a cake. They show up with the pastries in the second game.
It's a full-time birthday for Kim today.
Kim's going to have to go a little double workout tomorrow.
She works out so hard, she can eat whatever she wants on her birthday. Kickboxing, the whole deal. Kim's about that. Bikram yoga. Big paintball enthusiast.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She gets her workout in. The 3-1. And Pat Burrell walks. Look at those cupcakes. She's eyeballing them. She's very patriotic, too. She insists on sitting in front of American flags. There's a wave there by Ivar. I would also think, John, that Steve Jobs should come up and be a title sponsor for Yes Network. She's sitting there working on her, writing a blog on the Mac or Apple computer. Yankees baseball presented by Mac. Trying to help the sales staff. The 0-1.
Trying to stay with you. I don't know if I can go with you on that one.
Gloved in front of the plate. Molina will get the out at first as Pat Burrell advances to second.
Another good breaking ball from A.J. Burnett. Your Jose Molina, your job behind the plate is to keep your right-hander focused. He's had a nice ball game. Pitch count getting up there. You want him to finish up strong, feeling good about himself. Sometimes with a 7-run lead, you might get a little bit lazy in the middle of the ball game. Jose Molina's job is to make sure that does not happen.
John, what do you think has gone wrong with A.J. in August?
I really just think it's fastball command. I mean, he's got an overpowering fastball, 95, 96 miles an hour, but he can't live middle of the plate. He's been getting beat up on that pitch. We said before the game we wanted to see some improvement on the location. We have. Because of that, the curveball has been outstanding. Has been pretty much his strikeout pitch tonight. Watching Jose Molina, constantly reminding him about his arm, keeping his arm angle a little bit higher. You talked about it, hasn't won a ball game in a while, and he's looked pretty good here from the second inning on. I want to make sure he ends his night on a positive note.
You know, if you assume, John, that the Yankees will make the playoffs, and it certainly looks like they're headed to that, then Joe Girardi and his staff have to figure out, well, who starts and when do they start? Andy Pettitte has been so reliable over the last 7 weeks. Is he your number 2 starter or is he your number 3 starter? And I asked Joe Girardi that the other day, and he said, you know what, you really don't know until you know who you're facing and when the games are going to be played and where they're going to be played. Now, I think the first round, it's pretty obvious if the Yankees make it, they're going to be at home for the first 2 games. And A.J. Burnett's been better at home than he is on the road, and Andy's been better on the road than he is at home, and that could play a factor as well. 3-1, foul back.
And a lot could change in the next couple of weeks. I mean, you want to have your hottest guys going at the top of your rotation. Obviously, CC, you would think he would be your number 1, but then do you throw back-to-back lefties? You know, Andy Pettitte's been pitching probably the second best out of anybody on the staff. Does Joe Girardi, Dave Eiland want to go back-to-back with left-handers? Do you want to break it up with A.J. in the middle? I mean, these are things that hopefully you have all 3 guys firing on all cylinders at the end of the year.
Popped up. Shallow left, coming on is Damon. And he makes that play in foul territory for the second out.
Best case scenario, you have your top 3 guys throwing the ball as well as they have all year. And then you got a decision to make with that guy right there, Jabba Chamberlain.
Do you go with a 4th starter in a best of 5?
A lot of questions that need to be answered. And again, Jabba starts throwing the ball better down the stretch here where they start stretching his innings out. You have a tough decision.
But a much better decision than any you had to make last year when they didn't make the playoffs, so they'll take those decisions. When B.J. Upton takes outside. An 8-run outburst in the 3rd inning has provided cushion to the Yankees. They're up 8-1, top of the 6th. The night portion of a day-night doubleheader. Fouled away.
A.J. doing a nice job repeating his delivery on back-to-back fastballs to B.J. Upton. First one just missed off the plate. The next one, located pretty well in the outside half, was fouled off. This is what Dave Eiland wanted to see from his right-hander. Repeat that delivery, hit that spot down and away.
B.J. tonight is 0 for 1 with the walk.
As good of a fastball as he's thrown all night. Velocity, but more importantly, the location. 3 in a row have been quality pitches from A.J. Burnett.
And with A.J. Burnett, something could click in, and he could go off and not lose a game for 2 months. That's what happened last year when he was with the Blue Jays. Has he found that tonight? The 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did, as B.J. Upton goes down swinging. So A.J. Burnett picks up his 8th strikeout of the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. 8-1 Yanks. You're watching Labor Day Baseball on Yes, presented by KGB. Well, the story of the day has been number 2, Derek Jeter, but he has not had a hit. He's 0 for 8, 0 for 4 in the first game, 0 for 4 in this game. He's never played a doubleheader in his career where he started both games where he didn't pick up at least a hit. He's 3 away from tying Lou Gehrig. Yankees are up 8-1. Mark Teixeira against Jeff Bennett, the 3rd pitcher used by the Rays. And the pitch is outside. Well, you asked me in the first game, John. Let me turn the tables. Teixeira, Jeter, or Mauer? Who's your MVP?
Derek Jeter.
Even over Mauer with the 368 average.
Yeah, and you know, it's just one of those things that we get to watch him. And I've just been impressed with how he's played defense this year. I think only 7 errors on the year. He's stolen a lot of bases, 24. The batting average.
That one's driven deep to right center field. Upton back, still back, looking up. See ya! Second home run of the night for Mark Teixeira, a solo shot. And the Yankees are up 9-1. And they did receive a text message out there. His 35th home run of the year and his 106 run batted in.
Mark Teixeira probably trying to change my mind on the possible MVP in the American League. Home run number 35. He's had a great first year with the Yankees. Got a fastball up in the zone. He drills it into the right center field bullpen.
Let's take a look at the IOTB HD Super Shot. Pitch is inside the Matsui. That's Mark Teixeira's 3rd multi-home run game of the year. Third multi-home run game, as we mentioned, of the year, 24th of his career. And as we also mentioned earlier with Carlos Pena out for the season, now he's chasing a stationary target rather than a moving one. Pena leads the American League with 39 home runs. Matsui batting cleanup tonight with Alex Rodriguez resting. And Jeff Bennett walks it. You know, between games, John, I was talking to a couple of writers who have votes in the MVP, and they said at this point, Joe Mauer is ahead, but he's not so totally ahead that he can't lose, because it might come down to that the Twins have a series against the Tigers, and that's going to be a do or die for them. Is Mauer going to go 0 for 12 in that series? Is he going to go 7 for 12 no matter if they win or lose? You know, if he has a terrible series, well, that could get Jeter up to the front, or maybe Mark Teixeira. But if he has a great series, even if the Twins lose those games, that could cement him. It's going to be very tight. Here's Nick Swisher. They do not hold Matsui at first. Grounded foul.
Well, you got to believe that the, I guess, lack of power numbers for Derek Jeter is going to hurt him. Joe Mauer with 26 home runs coming into today's game. At 13 last year, so doubled his power input, the high batting average 370. But you watch Derek Jeter play every day, just the all-around game is as good as it's been for a few years.
The 0-1. 1-1. Are you as amazed, though, at what Mauer's done batting average-wise as Joe Girardi is? Joe said the thing that gets him about Mauer is that he's so tall. And usually tall catchers really wear down their knees. And he said Mauer doesn't seem like he gets worn down, and he even gets infield hits.
Yeah, he's just got such a simple approach, and for a big man, he doesn't really have a lot of body in his swing. It's a lot of hands. That's why he's such a good hitter. The high batting average up around 370. But I think I'm more impressed with how you go from 13 home runs one year, never really a power guy, to hit 370 with 26 the next year. I mean, that's not easy to do. You see a lot of hitters double their home run output, but the batting average suffers. Not the case with Joe Mauer.
And people always talk about splitting the vote because there are two players that are on the same team that are battling for the award, and that would be Jeter and Teixeira. And I'm not sure I buy into that, because each city that has an American League team, so there are 14 American League cities, they have two writers from each city voting for each award. So for the guys that see them every day, let's say that they split it. So two guys would split the vote. Everybody else is just going to vote for the best guy that they think, whether it be Jeter or Teixeira or Mauer. So I never bought into that splitting the vote. Now Mauer was 3 for 5 today with 2 RBIs, so he's now hitting 369. The 3-2. Swisher stays alive with a foul tip. And another full count for Nick Swisher. Rip foul. Nick Kelleher dances out of the way. I mean, you talk about Jeter's improved defense, and a lot of people credit Nick Kelleher. He's been working with the infielders. He positions Jeter a little bit more up the middle. He's done a good job.
Well, he really has. He deserves some credit for Robinson Cano, too, who's been a lot more solid, done a better job on the routine play this year.
Tomorrow's game is going to be on My 9, but we're going to have a pre and post game show on Yes. So the pregame show will start at 6:30, and right after the final out on My 9, turn back to Yes as we cover Derek Jeter's chase for the top spot, the most hits in Yankee history. The pre and post game on Yes. Tomorrow the game is on My 9 at 7. 3-2. Swisher got plunked, and he did on the elbow. And it wasn't a walk. It's a hit by pitch. And Nick is really in a lot of pain.
You get to this point in the year when you're thinking about postseason, anytime anybody takes one off the hand or the elbow. You see it gets him right on the inside of that left elbow, obviously in some pain. Take a look and see from the side angle on the swing. Got him on that left elbow. I don't know what they're going to rule on the swing.
Are they going to say he swung?
Swung, it would have been strike 3.
Yeah, I don't think he foul tipped
saying
the
a
ball.
foul ball.
Well, let's see. Did he hit the ball? No.
No.
Well, how's he still in there? That's very odd. It was 3-2. Grounded right side, and he gets a base hit. That should make the elbow feel a bit better.
It looked like Nick Swisher caught a break. They probably ruled it a foul ball. Gets a sinking fastball middle of the plate, rolls it right through the hole. You can see a little more one-handed swing than we're used to seeing from Nick. Some decent extension, a little top spin. Base hit.
So first and second, still nobody out here in the 6th inning. 1 run in. Here's Cano, and he fouls it off. You know, we were talking about splitting the vote, something that I don't believe in, but a friend of mine just texted me. A lot of people believe that 1988, that Strawberry and McReynolds split the vote, that Kirk Gibson got the MVP. There's a base hit to center field. Matsui held up. Swisher goes to second, and a single for Cano, and the Yankees have the bases loaded.
Well, Robinson had a sacrifice fly in the first game in the big 8th inning for the Yankees. Picks up his first base hit of this ball game. Again, another sinking fastball from Bennett. Nice, easy, smooth swing. Hard line drive right back up the middle.
And here's Melky Cabrera. The moon trying to peek through the dark night. Grounded foul. Melky has the average up to 280 now. He's 18 for his last 45. A 400 batting average. Think he doesn't know that Brett Gardner's back, and that Brett Gardner was on the way, and he has picked it up. He had dipped under 270, now worked it all the way back to 280. Brett Gardner started in the first game in center. Melky was in left, and Gardner made a tremendous play in right center field. There's a ground ball, smothered there by Brignac. Does no play. Matsui scores an infield single for Melky Cabrera, and the Yankees lead 10-1.
Michael, it's a good point with Melky Cabrera. Remember early on in the year, Brett Gardner playing center field. Whenever Melky got an opportunity, he took advantage of it. Starting to pick it up here lately. Brett Gardner in game 1. Perez hits a shot to right center. The ball slicing away from Gardy. Makes a nice sliding catch. Covered a lot of ground to make that play. CC Sabathia appreciated it.
Yankees have 14 hits, and everybody in the lineup, except for Derek Jeter, has picked up a hit. He's still going to have a couple more at bats. Here's Jerry Hairston Jr. who pitches upstairs. How about Joe Madden? There's nobody warming up in the bullpen, so Jeff Bennett's out there to take a beating.
As the second pitch of the ball game, Jerry Harrison took one up around his brim of his cap. Rays obviously have a report trying to pitch him up and in. Jim Hickey on the phone again.
Round it to third. There's one. On to first, it's a double play. Now Jerry Hairston's saying the ball hit off my foot. And they're going to check with the first base umpire. And he said, no, he's out. Now Joe Girardi comes out to talk with Adrian Johnson.
We'll get another look. Sinking fastball.
Didn't hit him square, we know that. Now the umpire's going to meet.
If it did get him, it just got a little piece.
Well, he did the requisite hop. And let's see how they call it. Tim Welke. Or is it Gary Cedarstrom goes over to Joe Girardi and said, no, it didn't hit it. So it's a double play, 5-3.
You got to believe it caught a little piece of him because you don't think anybody can react that quickly. Didn't get him square, that's for sure. Jerry doesn't get away with it.
Now run scored on that because the bases were loaded, nobody out. So Swisher came home to score. Hairston doesn't get an RBI. Yankees lead 11-1. And here's Molina with a runner on second. And Nick's going to get some of that freezing agent put on the elbow, and he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
He still doesn't like it.
Well, you don't see that very often anymore. That was kind of the big thing years ago with Stevie Donahue going a little old school with Nick Swisher. Nick Swisher doesn't like it. Stevie Donahue does. Big smile on his face. Likes to inflict pain on the players.
And the count is 2-2. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. And the payoff. Put a compression wrap on that elbow. Make sure it doesn't swell up. Great night for Molina continues. They're going to hold up Melky Cabrera. And that'll bring up Derek Jeter. Molina 3 for 3 with a walk.
Derek Jeter, number 2.
So the crowd's been behind Jeter all day. He had 3 hits yesterday against Toronto in the final game of that 4-game set, but he was 0 for 4 in game 1 today, and he is 0 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI tonight. Derek is 3 hits away from tying Lou Gehrig for the most hits in New York Yankee history, 4 hits away from taking over first place. Now 1-0.
All the fans came to see Derek Jeter get a couple of hits today. getting a game like this, 11-1 in the 6th inning. I'm sure Joe Girardi would like to give Derek a few innings off. Tough to do when all these fans came here to see him get some base hits.
It's amazing the flash bulbs that are going off, because as we mentioned, he's 3 hits away from tying. So if he gets a base hit here, all right, so you've immortalized base hit number 2,719, but that's not going to mean anything until he breaks Gehrig's mark. And Jeter being patient in the count 3-0. And again, all the flashes go off. For ball 3. I guess they hit the lead on that one, John. The 3-0. There's a strike. Jeter thought that was ball 4.
3-0, anywhere close. A little sinker that's a little down and in. Adrian Johnson, home plate umpire, didn't see it that way.
And the 3-1. And Jeter walks, so still without a hit today. And the crowd doesn't want the walk. They want a base hit. So the bases are reloaded. And that's it for Jeter. They're going to take him out, so he will not get a hit in this doubleheader. So although everybody wants to see him get a hit, they've got 9 more games on this homestand, and he had 5 at-bats or 5 plate appearances, and it didn't happen. So they will go at it again tomorrow. And Pena pinch runs. So bases loaded, 2 outs, 0-1 count on Damon as the Yankees have batted around again. And there's a swing and a miss. And the 0-2. Not quite certain who Jeff Bennett ticked off. But he is taking one for the team.
Well, Michael, we talked about their bullpen being fatigued coming down the stretch here in September, and you got to have a guy like this to go out there and kind of take one for the team, save the rest of your bullpen. Might not look pretty on your own individual line with your earned run average and all that other stuff, but I'll tell you what, guys on your club will give you a little respect. You go out there and eat up some innings, save the rest of the bullpen.
Brian Shouch pitched in the first game, and he is ready here in the second. And the 1-2. A paid attendance of 45,953 at Yankee Stadium. Remember, this is a makeup of a rained-out game, so the tickets for the rained-out game were sold. 45,953. The turnstile count still very good. 35,128. Hot shot to second. Iwamura will get Damon, and that'll do it. But the Yankees scored 3 runs, and they leave 3 runners on base. Power today comes from Walt Teixeira. First, a 3-run home run to dead center, and then today, in this inning, another home run. A 2-home run day for Teixeira. Well, it's time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question, which future Jeter moment would you most like to witness? You've been texting us at 58772, and the last game that he ever plays just beats out his 3,000th hit. The Hall of Fame induction is 24%, and then trailing is the number retired. A lot of those seem to be and are foregone conclusions. KGB scoreboard 11-1. Yankees are leading. Wholesale changes for the Yankees, as they have a new pitcher. Edouard Ramirez will take over for A.J. Burnett, and we'll give you the other changes as we move along. And Reed Brignac is thrilled that A.J. Burnett's out because he was overmatched, 0 for 2 strikeouts on breaking balls. Those are Ramirez's numbers. He struggled early. He was with the team at the beginning, and then they sent him down. Labored in Scranton Wilkes-Barre and has come back with the September call-ups.
Way too many walks when he was up earlier. And you're right, Michael. Brignac is not too disappointed to see A.J. Burnett leave this ball game. Had a tough time with the breaking ball, some weak swings, couple of strikeouts. But I believe Ramirez and Brignac have faced each other in AAA, the International League. Durham, the AAA team for the Rays, Scranton for the Yankees. Sure, it's not the first time these two guys have crossed paths. Now they're facing each other in the big leagues in September.
And the 1-2. 2-1-2. Popped up. The new shortstop, Ramiro Pena, puts it away for the first out. Tomorrow night, catch the Yes Network debut of Inside Notre Dame Football. Every week, get the inside scoop from South Bend, including highlights, commentary from Coach Charlie Weiss, and news and notes on everything Irish. It's the season premiere of Inside Notre Dame Football tomorrow at 7, only on Yes. Here's Fernando Perez, and there's a ground ball to second. Cano over to Swisher, two-way. Let me get you caught up in the outfield right now. You've got Damon remaining in left. The new center fielder is Gardner, and Cabrera moves from center to right. There's Damon in left, and Swisher moves from right to first base. So you're all caught up with Pena at shortstop. Tampa Bay staring at a 6-game losing streak at a time when they need to win almost every single game they play. And the pitch is high. Boy, looks like a completely different team than last year's.
You look at their team right now, Michael, they just don't have a starting rotation that you feel like they can go on a winning streak with. And I think that's been their problem this year. We talked about the bullpen. Difference a year makes.
The 2-1. Strike by Ramirez. And the count 2-2. It is a little strange against the right-hander, John. In games you have to win, that Carl Crawford didn't play with. Or the second game.
Didn't play the second game. I agree with you. I mean, there were a lot of changes in that second lineup. The second game that maybe you scratch your head a little bit for a team that has to win every game.
I mean, if B.J. Upton could play the second game, why wasn't he in there the first? These are games they had a sweep. I mean, they're falling out of it in a hurry. The 3-2 off the glove of Ramirez. Recovering is Cano. A nice scoop by Swisher, but it's a base hit for Iwamura. Well, Iwamura's knee surgery did not rob him of speed. He could still get down the line.
Yeah, when Iwamura hurt his knee, they thought he was going to be gone for the year. They were lucky enough to rehab him, get him back in September. They thought they were going to have some meaningful games. Nice play by Robinson Cano, athletic coming in, and a nice pick by Nick Swisher. Makes that play tough as Robinson was so close to Nick. Edward Ramirez knocks the ball down. Iwamura still runs pretty well.
Here's Gabe Gross. And a strike. And there's Iwamura with that roller in the first game on his leg. Surgically repaired knee.
He's getting ready for that infield hit in the 7th inning of the second game.
Also, another question, John. Why would you start Crawford in the first game against the lefty and sit him against the righty?
These are all valid questions, Michael. I wish I had an answer for you.
He's got a bat. He's ready to go. The 1-1. 2-1. First game, Yankees won 4-1. CC Sabathia gave them 7 innings of 1-run ball. Still used a scoreless 8th, got the win. Mariano, back from the groin problem, picks up his 35th straight save. And then another question you have on deck is Chris Richard. So you're going to pinch hit for Evan Longoria, which means you're pretty much running the white flag up when you're losing 11-1. Now, the likelihood of catching up is very slight, but how do you take your best player out? Tried to pull an outside pitch and grounds it to second, and that's going to do it in the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 6.5 innings here at Yankee Stadium. Time for the 7th inning stretch as the Yankees lead 11-1. But on this Labor Day, we stay right here and honor America in the Bronx.
Please offer a moment of silent prayer. We remember the servicemen and women who are on duty right now, serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to join in. Yankee Stadium organist Paul Cartier plays Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
game on the KGB scoreboard. It's 11-1. Yankees over the Rays. Yankees have pounded out 15 hits, none of them by Derek Jeter. And Tampa Bay has picked up 5 hits. And Jeff Bennett remains in the game. A lot of changes for the Rays. Bennett's at 76 pitches. He did throw 73 in a relief appearance on June 16th. And there's a strike to Brett Gardner. Gardner's first at bat of the second game. Slap toward short. Brignac over to Chris Richard, making his Tampa Bay Ray debut. On away. Ibar moved from first to third. And a new catcher, Sean Riggins. There's Chris Richard at first. Riggins behind the plate. And in center field, Upton's out of the game and Kapler takes over. So this is pretty much a game that could be played in Tampa, and I don't mean at Tropicana Field. With all the changes, it feels like Steinbrenner Field here in the Bronx. And there's a strike to Hideki Matsui. Jonathan Albaladeo will probably pitch the 8th for the Yanks. And a base hit for Matsui, his second of the game.
Bennett out there in a relief role, kind of eating up some innings for the Rays, but he was a starter in AAA, so he has some experience going deep in ball games.
Well, now you can watch live Yes Network games on your PCs and laptops. If you're a Blue Ridge Communications customer who watches Yes, log on to YesNetwork.com, Yankees.com, or BRCTV.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Here's Eric Hinsky. And he pops one up. Left field. Perez a long run for the second out. So Hinsky pinch hitting for Swisher. And Matsui remains at first. Nobody on deck for the Yankees. Robinson Cano is due up. Not sure if they're going to go to the bench or send Cano up, but they're waiting on somebody who's probably up the tunnel.
Sure, somebody underneath probably getting loose for this at bat. It looks like it's going to be Shelley Duncan.
Duncan was called up today, and he won the MVP in the International League.
Fan favorite here at Yankee Stadium.
One RBI short of 100, 30 home runs for Shelley. An energetic player, a lot of power. Tries to hold up and he cannot. Shelley was actually called up for about half a day in Chicago and then sent right back down. And the Yankees made another change. And it shows you, you've got to think as a ball player. Everybody was sorry for Shelley, had to make the trip to Chicago and then just go right back. And he said, no, that's okay. I'm on the Major League Dental plan now.
Well, he's on the roster, which made this September call-up a lot easier.
Right.
It's a lot easier to get called up when you're on the roster. It's going to work out here for the last month for Shelley.
And the 0-2. Grounded to short. Across the first, and that will do it. In the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the 8th inning at Yankee Stadium. The night portion of a day-night doubleheader. It's 11-1 Yankees over the Rays. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, and by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Well, traffic moving steadily on the George Washington Bridge. Tonight, throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here in the booth for the Chevy part of the game. Text your vote to 58772. And tonight's candidates are number 1, A.J. Burnett, number 2, Mark Teixeira, number 3, Melky Cabrera, number 4, Jose Molina. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates certainly do apply. Got a lot of changes, and we'll give you those changes as we move along. Gabe Kapler hitting in Longoria's spot against Jonathan Albaladeo, the new Yankee pitcher. Now the Yankees are poised to sweep this doubleheader. You see Albaladeo's numbers. The last time they swept a doubleheader on Labor Day, and there haven't been a lot lately, it was back in 1971 when they took 2 from the Red Sox. Check swing and grounded to first. Jose Molina is there, and he will flip to Albaladeo for the first out. Now you see Albaladeo's eyes. I mean, for those that didn't watch the games on the road trip, we should explain. Joe Girardi calls him the world's biggest raccoon, but he was playing catch down at Scranton Wilkes-Barre with Edouard Ramirez, and a ball got away and hit him square between the eyes, and he wasn't called up right away because of that. Now he's feeling okay, but the manifestation of that blow to the head happens to be the black eyes. Still not over that. Here's Pat Burrell. Grounded foul. The new Yankee infield has Hinsky at third, Hairston at short, Pena at second, and Molina is at first. The new catcher is Francisco Cervelli. And Shelley Duncan takes over in right field as Melky Cabrera gets the rest of the night off. Now, one thing about sweeping a doubleheader, statistically, this is not a doubleheader. It is not looked at as a doubleheader. Although you tell the players who played 2 games, it's a doubleheader. But the people that keep the official records for baseball say, hey, if it's a split doubleheader, separate admission, it's not a doubleheader. So it's just a matter of semantics. The 1-1. There's a strike. But it feels like a doubleheader, right, John?
Played 2 games in 1 day. It's a doubleheader, Michael.
They very rarely have doubleheaders now where there are 20 minutes between games like they used to, because there's too much money to be lost. You want to have 2 separate gates, and that's why they do it this way. As Burrell swings and misses.
Good curveball from Albaladejo. Good to see Francisco Cervelli back behind the plate.
Join Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones after the final out for the WB Mason postgame with comprehensive highlights and analysis from this day-night doubleheader, plus the latest from around baseball. That's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. Ibar chops one over the head of Albaladeo. Fielded by Hairston, and he underhands to Molina, but Ibar beats it out.
Tough play for Jerry Harrison. He did a nice job covering a lot of ground to get to this slow ground ball. A good sinker chopped in front of the plate. See Jerry covering a lot of ground. He gets his feet tangled up here, and that enables him not to get a good throw off. Tries the underhand flip. Look at Jose Molina trying to sell it over there at first. Not able to do it. And when his feet get crossed up, he had a tough time with the exchange. Can't make the play.
Chris Richard. That's what he did with Durham. This is his first at bat this year with Tampa Bay.
Remember him being a big prospect with St. Louis. years back.
You mentioned good to see Cervelli behind the plate. And there's history between Cervelli and the Tampa Bay Rays. Spring training last year, got run over by a utility infielder by the name of Elliott Johnson at home plate at Steinbrenner Field. Yankees thought it was a little bit excessive for an exhibition game. Knocked Cervelli out for most of the season with a broken wrist. And some people with the Rays say that catapulted them into having the season that they had because they just changed the way they played. And they took no prisoners, and here is that play.
Yeah, it's always one of those debates in a spring training game. It's an exhibition game. Do you actually go full out like Johnson did? Took Cervelli out, broke his wrist. If you're on the team that does it, you say it's good, hard baseball. If you're on the Yankees where you take it and you lose a prospect for a little more than half the season, you don't like it, obviously. One of those running debates on if it was a clean play or a dirty play.
You mentioned Chris Richard. He should be a big prospect. He has not been in the majors since 2003. That is a long time down in the minors. But he has worked his way back. Runner goes 3-2, and Richard walks. And here's Sean Riggins. Top of the 8th inning, Yankees leading 11-1. Alvaladeo deals. Grounded foul.
Riggins was a backup catcher last year, had some shoulder problems, worked his way back. Played one game for the Rays earlier this year, went on the disabled list with shoulder tendonitis. Now is back in September.
The 0-1. Broken bat, soft ground ball toward Pena. Flips to Molina, and that'll do it. Scoreless inning for the Yankees and Jonathan Alvaladeo. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at the stadium. It's 11-1 Yankees. Time to take a look at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Bottom of the third, Mark Teixeira hit a couple of home runs in this ball game, but their Land Rover drive of the game, a 3-run shot, fastball right down the middle from Andy Sonnenstein. That was his 34th home run of the year. Your Land Rover drive of the game.
And it remains on the netting that runs above Monument Park. 2 home runs for Mark Teixeira, 35 on the year, 106 runs batted in. A great first season with the Yankees. So a lot of important players on the top step of that dugout. You see A-Rod, who didn't play in the second game, Nick Swisher in the middle, Derek and CC Sabathia, who started the first game.
Well, Michael, you'd love to see that. Guy's still out on the top rail. Obviously having a good time with the way the second game has gone.
Andy Pettit has been a spectator for both games.
What if you're Francisco Cervelli? That means a lot to you. You know, a guy who just gets recalled back in September. You see your star players on that top rail, bottom of the 8th inning.
Brian Schaus, the new pitcher. Now, this is the age-old question, though, John. And you see Schaus's numbers. Does chemistry breed winning, or does winning breed chemistry?
I'll tell you what, you could be on a team that's talented. You don't have the best chemistry in the world. You go out there and beat everybody because you just have more talent. I think the teams that aren't as talented have to have great chemistry to win. The Rays last year had a great young group with some veterans mixed in. It looks like the Yankees have the talent. They also have the chemistry. The bottom line, you got guys like Sabathia, Derek Jeter out there. You follow the lead. Follow the lead of your star players.
And also, we don't have to sell this at all, but this team actually, you see it on the road, they like each other. There doesn't seem to be cliques in the clubhouse. You know, some people are closer friends with others, but there's no animosity from one clique to the next, and every team would seem like it would have definitive groups of guys that hang together, but this one's different. The guys really get along, and that started in spring training when Joe Girardi gave the guys a day off, and they all went and they played pool. And they bonded since then, and I think a big part of it is CC Sabathia. This guy takes people out in spring training. He had tickets to the Orlando Magic. They would make the hour drive from Tampa. He'd take 3 or 4 teammates for every home game, and they just became friends. And then earlier this year, the Yankees were in Cleveland and played the Indians, and the Cavs were playing a big playoff game right across from Jacobs Field on a night the Yankees had off. And Sabathia sprung for about $60,000 in tickets and took whatever teammate wanted to go. That's big league, 60 grand.
Yeah, pretty much the whole team was there.
Yeah.
What did I read? They had a fantasy football draft in Baltimore. A lot of the guys were there, even if they're not in that league. They were there to observe and have a good time.
There's a ground ball, a short, 2 away. Yeah, they all. It was a night that they had gotten in on Sunday, and they all headed to the ESPN zone in the Inner Harbor, and they were all wearing different jerseys of players that they were going to draft in the fantasy draft, and that breeds, you know, likability and togetherness. They don't mind hanging with each other.
It's a dangerous combination if you're other teams in the American League, and hopefully the Yankees get to the World Series in the National League when you have a team that talented who enjoy each other's company, good chemistry. That's dangerous.
And again, while I asked the question, there have been teams that have won championships that hated each other.
Yep.
The A's in the 70s had fights all the time in the clubhouse. The 77-78 Yankees, they had people that didn't like each other. Some people liked the manager. I mean, they went at it. But they were a great team, and they went out and won games. The 4 Yankee championship teams, 96, 98, 99, 2000, those guys liked each other. There weren't any cliques in the clubhouse. Joe Girardi was part of that team, the first 3 championships. And Jose Molina works a walk. How about Molina's night? He's been on base every single time, 3 for 3 and 2 walks.
Also did a nice job behind the plate with A.J. Burnett. Turned in a quality performance.
Tomorrow's game is going to be on My 9, and we want to remind you that the pre and post game show is going to be on Yes. So at 6:30, turn to Yes. We'll get you set up for the game. And then post game right after the final out on My 9, turn back to Yes for the complete recap. Derek Jeter still 3 hits away from tying Lou Gehrig, 4 hits away from standing alone atop the Yankees all-time hit list. Pena fouls it away. This kid really impressed the Yankees when he was up earlier in the year. Energy out the bench, could pick it at shortstop, and showed them that he could hit enough.
Yeah, that was a big question. What would he do with the bat? He's proved to be a tough little out.
He saved them the embarrassment of being no hit on Friday in Toronto. He got the only hit in a complete game shutout pitched by Roy Halladay. A clean double down the right field line. And there's some of that hitting right there. Slaps a single to center.
Continues to impress the Yankees with the way he plays defense. Versatile, plays all over the field. Switch hitter. Nice swing, a nice solid line drive right back up the middle.
Here's Johnny Damon way outside. Damon did not play the first game, so he is the only position player that's still in there. Well, Molina is as well. He moved from catcher to first. You know what? I misspoke. Hairston is as well. So don't forget what I said. 1-1. The 1-2 as Damon swings and misses, and that's going to do it here in the 8th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Schaus puts up a 0. It's 11-1 Yankees as we go to the 9th. Time to take a look now at the plays of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Mark Teixeira responsible for both plays of the game. Home run number 34, a deep drive. Center field, a 3-run shot. He follows it up with a solo shot, number 35 into the Yankee bullpen. Your Geico plays of the game.
Mark now a spectator as the Yankees bring in the rookie left-hander Michael Dunn. Made his major league debut during the road trip and was a little bit nervous, didn't throw strikes. Throws one there right past Reed Brignac. Brignac's 0 for 3. Michael drafted as an outfielder, and the bat wasn't up to snuff with the arm, and the Yankee organization said, you know what, let's try it pitching. And he said he always knew that he could fall back on pitching because he had a good arm. And here he is in the big leagues.
Well, he does have a good arm. 2 fastballs, 94 miles an hour and 93. Look for him to have a little better performance tonight. Understandably, the nerves were involved his first major league appearance. You look for him to settle down a little bit here.
The 2-1. And the count 3-1. And he walks Brignac. Time now to announce the Chevy player of the game is voted on by you, the fans, and the two of us here in the booth. Who is it, John Flaherty? Who is it?
Here's Chevy player of the game, A.J. Burnett. Turned in a solid performance, struggled a little bit in the first inning, and then really got on a nice roll. The power curveball, a lot of swings and misses, 8 strikeouts. Only gave up 4 hits, 1 run. Player of the game, A.J. Burnett.
Fernando Perez fouls it back. Fernando Perez, one of 11 players in history that made the major leagues out of Columbia University. And one of them is being chased by Derek Jeter, and that's Lou Gehrig. Grounded to third. Pinsky goes to second, one on to first. Not in time. Michael Dunn pitched in AA and AAA this year. 4 and 3 combined, 3.31. 38 games, 73 and a third innings, 58 hits, which is good. 46 strikeouts, which is not good, and 46 walks, should I say, and 99 strikeouts, which is excellent. But he's got to have better command. And the pitch to Iwamura is outside.
He gets a call up in September, gets a little cup of coffee in the big leagues, but also gets an opportunity to work with Dave Island, the big league pitching coach. Maybe work on some mechanical things, be a little more consistent in the strike zone.
And then you get called up in September, and there's a really good chance you'll be invited to spring training, and they get a longer look. As long as you're on the big league staff's radar, you're doing all right.
I'll tell you what, if you're left-handed, you throw 94 miles an hour, you're going to be on that radar. You don't see too many left-handed relievers throwing with that kind of velocity. But there's no doubt about it, Michael. I mean, nerves are a factor for any kid who comes up to the big leagues in September. You want to get off to a good start, gain some confidence at the big league level. He had a rough first outing, looking to rebound a little bit here tonight. Doesn't matter if he's playing first base or behind the plate, trying to relax a young reliever. Nice job, Jose Molina.
And Iwamura walks. So second walk issued by Dunn. Yankees certainly have a lot of room to play with here, so they can allow Dunn to work through this. Remember to join Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones out for the fun lot for the WB Mason postgame with comprehensive analysis and highlights from this doubleheader, plus the latest from around baseball. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. And one more reminder, tomorrow's game is going to be on My 9 at 7 o'clock as Derek Jeter continues to chase Lou Gehrig. At 6:30, though, the pregame show is going to be on Yes. And then after the final out, switch back to Yes for the postgame show. And Gabe Gross takes a pitch outside. He's all over the place. He's not even missing close. He's just missing.
You might expect a trip to the mound, maybe Dave Island, give him a few words of encouragement. We'll wait and see. Try to let him work out his problems out on the mound.
The 2-0. There's a strike. And a somewhat derisive cheer from those still left.
Toughest thing to do, slow the game down. Start walking a few people. Got the jitters at the major league level. Tough when you're a young kid to slow it down. Trust your mechanics.
The 2-2. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tip held onto by Cervelli. You know, a day like this is a long day. Our crew gets here at 8, 9 in the morning, sometimes even earlier than that. You know what? I was a little lost. 6 in the morning for a lot of these guys and gals. And we want to thank our crew here at Yes. They're the best at what they do. And we want to thank them for the long day that they put in. So they started at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. and they'll end at about 10:30. So thank you to everybody. Check swing by Kapler. Well, they say he went around.
You can see why the Yankees like Dunn. I mean, the velocity with the fastball, a nice tight slider. You can simplify the mechanics a little bit and get him around the strike zone. You might have something.
And Tampa Bay down to its final strike. First game started just after 1. Yankees won that one 4-1. This one started just after 7. Yankees leading this one 11-1. Rays trying to avoid their 6th straight loss. Yankees trying to go 39 games over 500. And the 1-2. Pop foul. And out of play. A lot of Yankee fans wanted today to be about Derek Jeter, but Derek did not pick a hit for the first time in his big league career, and playing in a doubleheader. He was 0 for 4 in game 1. And he was 0 for 4 with a walk here in game 2 before being taken out for a pinch runner. The chase continues tomorrow. The 1-2. 2-2. Little guy's happy despite being up this late. Got to go to school probably in the next couple of days, so this is his respite from that. And the pitch. Foul back, still 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Kapler down on strikes, and the Yankees sweep this day-night doubleheader. 4-1 in the first game and 11-1 in the second game. And the Yankees are 39 games over 500, which is a new high water mark for them, and the most they've been since the end of the 2004 season when they finished the season